That was not needed. Hold on. Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing? What a rough start. Hey, what's up, Hillbilly? How you doing? What's up, Maja? Maja, how's it going? Hey, Dakota's mom. Alright, watch this. Listen. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Good you're here with us, Hood Rat. It's a blessing and a curse, best up. It's a blessing and a curse. Doing great. Hey, thanks to Heart Me, Raja. Alright, let's get into it. So, we had some crazy weather today. We still have crazy weather, by the way. Hey, Damaris. It's always Paganini here at this point. I love Paganini. Hey, Mirko. Midwest. Illinois. Doing great. So, let's talk about narcissists, empaths, toxic relationships, what you're going through. Whatever you want to talk about. Drop a question in the chat, let's start. Guys, for anyone in the Midwest, especially you, Thor, watch out, be careful. Hey Lisa, how you doing? It seems like everyone's a narcissist. Not necessarily true. We all have narcissistic traits and tendencies, but not everyone's a narcissist. Because they only say they're done with you to kind of ghost you or punish you. Well, obviously not you, Brandon. The reason why they say they don't, the reason why they say they're done but continue to stalk you is because the only reason why they said they're done is to make you feel regret, to make you feel sorry, to make you feel like, oh no. But once you actually responded to them being done, and they recognize that you're not necessarily chasing them or trying to, you know, then they start to recognize, hey, wait a minute, hold on. Then they start to stalk. They start to go, because like, I thought I was going to say, I'm done, walk out the door, and you'd be like, please come back, please. But that didn't happen. So like, oh, wait a minute. This wasn't part of the plan. You're not supposed to be strong enough to manage through this. You're supposed to be codependent and desperate. Very true, Brandon. Okay, let's deal with this question. How to deal with the shame and grief from being with a narcissist. The very first thing you need to understand is that there is no shame in being with a narcissist. That shame was basically like you pushed into understanding that you're in a shameful situation, or a situation where you may be deemed as shameful. In reality, you're with a person who had no real interest. Hey, Kitty, thank you very much. I love you. You're with a person who had no actual interest, but was trying to take advantage with every point they had. So grief is something that we should do. It's okay to grieve a relationship, especially a narcissistic one. It's okay. Look, even though it was toxic, it doesn't mean that the relationship wasn't real to you. Even though it was toxic, it doesn't mean it wasn't real to you. This doesn't mean that we condone or justify or accept what happened or how they behaved with us, but this is to allow ourselves to actually feel and have grief for the loss of a relationship. So it's okay to grieve, but there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's okay to grieve, but there's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Is it weird to want to extend grief? Well, I mean, they were still a part of your life regardless of him, Shy. As long as it doesn't really affect or has further implications against you. After I stopped responding, they always like to have... Okay, so let's start with this. AXA. Let's start with this. They always love to have the last word. Whether it makes sense or not, they always like to have the last word. So they can have the feeling that you're now... that they have this passive-aggressive effect, and now you're just thinking to yourself like, oh, what did that mean? What am I gonna do? Meeches, do not spam. Hey David, what's up David? How you doing? Meeches? Hey Kiffy, thank you very much, appreciate it. Meeches, don't spam please, thank you. I'd appreciate it if you didn't spam. Future, no contact is definitely a good way to approach that situation. Vulnerability is my heart's hobby. Hey Fuzzy, thank you for the heart, we appreciate it. Hold on, there was a question I saw above. David, how are you doing? I thank you, Space and Time. Monarch? Born and raised with them. My narc husband just moved out with no notice 2 days before rent due. With no regard for us. Now that's what I like to hear, David. That's what I love to hear. There's nothing more beautiful in life to see recovery unfold. With no notice 2 days before rent due. Well, it's not like... Okay, so does he normally pay the bills, Meeches? Meeches, does he normally pay the bills? Or does he normally contribute towards paying the bills? لأني عربي يا فوزية. English. How do you handle cognitive dissonance? Was anything that I experienced real with a narcissist? Cheeto. The only thing real about your relationship is the outcomes and where you are now. If you are now or no longer in that relationship with them, that tells you the reality of what you're actually dealing with. We can definitely talk about that, Starless Sea. It's Turkish coffee. David got there before I did. Hey, Super Freak, how you doing? Turkish coffee can be really good. Let's go with this question. Why do the narcissists need so much attention and discard good people? Okay, so I think the way you're phrasing this question is a little bit incorrect, because there's two things happening here. Narcissists always need attention. Their whole concept of narcissism is built on the perception of others, so they cannot perceive themselves or properly understand themselves unless a person's not giving it to them. So let's start with that, okay? And why they discard good people? From your perspective, they're discarding good people. I do have a YouTube. From your perspective, they're discarding good people. From their perspective, they're discarding a person that they can't supply off of or they can't use. So it's a matter of perspective when you look at this question. Why do they get married? For if they need all the people. For supply. The concept of marriage is for supply. There's more than one thing that they get. Every person offers something. And not everything there, and being in a relationship can offer a lot to a narcissistic person. It's basically, if anything, if you really want to look at it, they use their supply as mirrors to see themselves, if anything. How do you know if you're an empath? Well, if you find yourself heavily invested in the emotions of others, if you find yourself heavily invested or think about the emotions and energies or senses of others as if it was your own, that's a really good place to start with. My heart calls me, are you still with that person? Does your wife know they cheat all the time? I don't know if that question is directed at me, or I don't understand the sweet and crazy of that question. Should I just stop keeping them updated? Sorry, then wait, hold on. I want to try to my covert narc. No, at this point, this is something you want to ask your lawyer first. Sarah Dunn. This is something you want to ask your lawyer, right? But then again, also, I would say this. You don't owe him anything at this point. Like, if you want to provide updates for the sake of providing updates, you could do that. But don't have any expectations from a response or anything. If you're just providing updates for the sake of your child and for creating a better environment or atmosphere for your child, then that's all there is to it. You don't need to have any expectations of how he's going to respond or how he's going to use that information. That would definitely be in a healthy relationship. 100%. This mom is great. Is no contact good? No contact is a must. If you're no longer in a relationship with them, then no contact is pretty much a must. Okay, sorry. Alright. I was in a relationship with an empath before. It was the most healthiest relationship I ever had. Well, if you're going to be in a relationship with a person who's highly empathetic, you most likely would not feel the empathy as much as you think it is, because it'll basically be just a healthy relationship. You wouldn't recognize how highly empathetic they would be, because they would be validating you and creating a safe and healthy environment. In other words, you would describe it no different than you would describe any healthy relationship. How to stop thinking of the narcissist? Oh, I just started. How to stop thinking of the narcissist? By realizing you thinking about them is not necessarily you loving them or missing them. It's you it's more likely you're traumatized and bonded to them through trauma bond than it is you actually thinking about them. I don't think that's enough to say he's a narcissist, but I will definitely say that's toxic behavior, Melissa. That's projections. A person or a toxic person will throw accusations at you to make you chase your tail around them, so you can start trying to fend yourself and protect yourself from a reality that doesn't exist. You know what's the problem with this, guys? You know what's the problem with projections? Is that and this is the reason why people become borderline too, when you're dealing with a narcissistic person. Guys, you know what the problem with this is? When you're dealing with projections, you're trying to prove that you're not something that really never existed to begin with. For example, if I come out of nowhere, out of the blues, and say, "Hey, are you cheating on me?" and in reality, you have nothing to do with it, or you're nowhere even near that idea, and you're saying, "No, I'm not," but now you're having to prove it, but also at the same time, you're entertaining it. At the same time, you're actually, because of how they're presenting it with the accusation, they're framing you as a cheater, and you're defending yourself to prove that you're not a cheater. And then they'll be skeptical with this projection and constantly treat you as a cheater, despite the fact that you never really cheated or did anything in your whole life like this. And now you find yourself living a reality and being afraid of a reality that doesn't exist. For example, oh my god, I'm afraid my phone might ring with a car extended warranty, and he's gonna think that it's a guy, and then I'm gonna have to prove that it's not, and then we're gonna have to call him back if they don't pick. Like, you're living a whole reality that's built on insecurities, which are actually projections to begin with. That's what we call, Barbie, that's excellent. That's called projections are confessions. Now, here's the crazy part about all of this. We can talk about that, Carmel. So, now, here's the crazy part about all this. You're living, or you're trying to prove that you're not that something that they're accusing you of. But at the same time, or as you're trying to prove that you're not, you're also creating an atmosphere where, or you're starting to live that, you know? And why I say this is crazy, because when you really come to think about it, you're sitting down here entertaining the fact that you may not be, to a person who's persistent that you are, despite the reality of it not even really being a reality. It's so confusing. I know some of you may, if you can relate to this, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you can't, then I'm pretty sure it's hard to kind of put it together, but I can show it like this. For example, I come to you, right? And let's say you're calm and collected, everything's okay, it's just a normal day. And I'll say, "Hey, did you steal from the kitchen?" "Hey, thank you, Star, I appreciate it." "Did you steal from the kitchen? Did you steal," let's say whatever it is, let's say did you steal X from the kitchen? You'll be like, "No, of course I didn't." Right? But you're the only one here in the room, it's got to be you. Now I'm accusing you. Now at this point, from my perspective, you understand that I perceive you as a person who can steal, or you as a thief. And you're trying to prove it. Now, you don't really, in reality, you don't. And well, in truth, you don't really have to prove anything to anybody, you know? But at the same time, you feel because this person's close to you, that you feel obligated to make sure that they don't believe this. Right? And let's say you convince them, but they're still not convinced. But now they give you this kind of feeling where they treat you and act with you as if you were a thief or a person who would steal. And now you have to live down that reality despite the fact that it not even being truth. That's the reason why projections can be very scary and something that could even lead to splits and borderline. Borderline personality disorder is a, yes, there's rain. Explain what in simple terms, CJC. Oh, borderline? Borderline personality disorder is a cluster B mental health disorder, similar to NPD or ASPD, antisocial personality disorder, or narcissistic personality disorder, or histrionic. So, borderline personality disorder is not being able to properly regulate your emotions. And of course, with all the push and pull, or the insecurities and a fear of rejection or abandonment, you become very vigilant and obsessive, to the point where one would think that you're being manipulative or toxic, but in reality, you're just trying to make sure that you don't get rejected or abandoned. So that's the reason why we don't perceive BPD as destructive or toxic as NPD, while it could be painful or a difficult experience to work with, regardless of the circumstances. Can a narcissist and other narcissists make it work? Not really. It definitely can be toxic, Jay Newton. If two narcissists get together, what's basically going to happen is the beginning of the relationship will be good. They'll have what we call the love bombing phase, where they're both, pretending to give each other the love and, the ride of their lifetime. But eventually, at some point, the mask has to drop, and then one has to supply, and then the arm wrestle for power begins. And once they start to realize that there's a conflict of interest within the supply, they break free. Or at least they break it up. Abandonment is never easy, regardless of a mental health disorder. I did respond to you, Mirko, and I said, yeah, I said it's not necessarily like that. That's not necessarily true, but, so Mirko asks, does that mean their accusations is their perception of you and who they think you are? Not necessarily true, because sometimes it's just basically manipulation. Sometimes they would do projections or confessions, so they would project from their own selves onto you. For example, if they were cheating and they were not being loyal, they will project that behavior onto you and treat you as if you are not loyal, or it's always what their activity doing. Why is a narcissist so focused on one person? Hey David, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, David. What's going on? Why is a narcissist so focused on one person for such a long period of time? Why not just move on? Yeah, I'm good. I just need water. Why do you think, Crystal, why do you think they're only focused on one person? Why do you think they're only focused on one person? Okay, but what you're seeing, listen, what you're seeing is the interaction between you and them. Guys, hold on. We got a new CEO. Guys, we got a new CEO on TikTok. Guys, we have a new CEO. I forgot where I had to sign, where we did the sign-ups for when you became the manager, Starless C. Hey, thanks for the fireworks, David. Yeah. I talk about whatever I want. You don't get out of here. It's that simple. I swear to God, some people just have nothing better to do with their life. Just sit down and just like randomly criticize, just like that. Hey Gigi, how you doing? I do want to continue answering your question, Crystal. I'm not really interested in that pleb. So here's the thing, right? I like to think about narcissists as stage actors. They're putting a show for everyone, including you. The only difference between you and the others is you're behind the scenes. You're behind the scene. You're not on the other side of the stage. And the problem with this is, you would think that there is only one thing going between you and them, but in reality, they have multiple supplies. They have multiple people providing them with different aspects and elements for whatever their needs are. Now, your focus is between you and him, so you're not focused on the surroundings around him. But if you really look deep enough, you'll start to see that there's multiple supplies in his life that you may not even notice that they are a supply. But then again, the reason why they focus on one so much is because they're still getting the supply off of that someone. The moment the supply ends, that's the moment they discard. Is the rain too loud? All right. The people have spoken. We're doing great. Tonight, no music, just rain. Imagine I get a copyright from the universe. It's like, sorry, but you're playing the rain sound, so. Like, who copyright from God, maybe. I don't know. Glad you're enjoying it. Imagine that. Do narcissists ever smile? Yes, they do. In their own narcissistic way, in their own delusional perspective, they find happiness within their toxic behavior or within feeding their ego. How do you break a trauma bond? I think this is probably one of the most important questions that we can answer on these kind of lives. How to break a trauma bond. when I look at the trauma bond, I usually go to kind of simplify it. I like to look at it like this. One, the very first thing that needs to happen about breaking a trauma bond is understanding what a trauma bond actually is. Understanding what a trauma bond actually is. You're definitely not Velma. Okay, so what does this mean, and why is it so important to understand it? I know the concept. I know most of us understand the concept. It's you're being addicted to the chaos or the peace that you found within the chaos of the relationship. A trauma bond. Okay, so let's start with this. A trauma bond is the peace is being comfortable or learning how to find comfort within the chaos of the relationship itself. For example, because you've been so much invested into the push and pull of the relationship, you're constantly used to finding peace by proving yourself, by having to defend yourself, by having to fight for yourself. This is the kind of peace and comfort you know. Now, when they physically leave you from the relationship, they're gone physically, but you're still in the relationship mentally and emotionally. This is what we call a trauma bond. This leads you to have, and this is the reason why I say you have to understand the trauma bond, because what happens is cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when you start to make excuses or when you start to make justifications to walk back or to take yourself back to your abuser. This will be things like, oh, I'm pretty sure he's probably sorry at this time. I'm pretty sure he regrets everything he's done. Or maybe if I go now, I'm pretty sure he's gonna tell me sorry. Or then you might gaslight yourself. You might say, maybe I was behaving a little bit over the top. Maybe he was right. Maybe I am 1, 2, and 3. But all of what you're saying is just part of the trauma bond. It's you trying to find access to the only comfort you know. It's you trying to find the comfort within the chaos that you're still experiencing within yourself. Okay, now let's take it a step back for a second. This is called cognitive dissonance. Knowing that they're not good for you, knowing that you shouldn't be going, but still taking yourself and moving forward with it anyway. Now, understanding this drive or the things that you're saying, understanding this drive or the things that you're saying, these justifications, these intrusive thoughts, this gaslighting, will help you understand that it's not out of love or you missing them or you genuinely believing the things you're saying. It's part of a trauma bond. Now, the next thing that needs to happen, I just gave you an example of trauma bond, Carrie. For example, you'll say, after they leave you, so you're by yourself, now you're no longer in a relationship, you'd be like, you know what, maybe if I go back to him, he's going to be sorry. Or maybe I am the problem, and maybe if I start being more and this and that, then probably, no, it's not the same thing, MR. Is when you start to try to convince yourself or to make excuses or justifications to take yourself back to your abuser. Or to enable the behavior of your abuser. Hey, Krista, thanks for heart me. Oh my god. Guys, Dave just dropped 20 subs. If you got a sub, make sure to say thank you for David. You can see who received the subs, by the way. So if we're trying to change ourselves to accommodate to their expectations, no, it's not you're trying to change yourself to accommodate. No, this is after the relationship. This is after the relationship. Trauma bonds happen after the relationship when you're trying to process it. I don't, Carefree. Those are scammers. I only have this one account. The rest of them are scammers. Dr. Nazir got one. Nice. Guys, can we do a quick W David in the chat? Just run the W David in the chat. Especially if you received one. Now, the second part of the trauma bond, of breaking free from the trauma bond, the second, the most important part. Sotoman got one. Nice. Sotoman got one. Sotoman's an OG. He comes here every. Been here with us for like a year now. Okay. The second and most important part of breaking free from the trauma bond. Going no contact. Okay. So, the reason why we go no contact with our toxic partner is because they are the reason why you're traumatized to begin with. So that means they too are the trigger to your trauma. Hey, Krista, thank you very much for that superpower. So they too are also the trigger to your trauma. So not going no contact with a narcissist or a toxic person look at this weirdo. Hold on, wait, let me get this guy out of here. Hold on. What a weirdo. Basically, it's impossible. No, there is nothing impossible in healing, in recovery, Orchi. Guys, the rain's down a little bit, so we're gonna go back with this. And by the way, thank you very much. Sorry for missing it. Thank you, Kristen, for the superpower. Appreciated. Hey, thank you, Bree, for the hat and the mustache. Guys, is the rain or music? In the chat, choose rain or music. All right, Melissa, you have a good one. Both? Okay. Guys, are we having this weird all right. To all the trolls sitting in the live, if you're a troll and you're hating and you're chilling in the back, I want you to know, before you can say anything, before you decide to troll, I want you to know I banged your mother. Cheers to that. All right. Thank you. David threw firework. So now that means the moment you try to troll, you're just gonna get thrown out because you took your dose of toxicity. Velma. My message and her BFs and he's in her. How can I support her? Velma, here's what I'm gonna tell you about this. So you asked 2 questions, Velma. Listen, you asked 2 very interesting questions. Listen, there's 2. First, Velma, I want to address the first thing that you said. The first thing you said, am I a narcissist? I know you've been here, part of this community for quite a while. And I know that you come back and forth here, and there's a reason why you keep coming back here. It's because you're trying to find answers. You're self-reflecting. I know that you're not new to this community. All right, brains back. Narcissists don't self-reflect. They're not that invested. We can definitely talk about that. Sounds great. They're not that invested to self-reflect. They don't take accountability. So if I want to show you what that perspective looks like. So if you and I had a problem and I'm a narcissist and you're not, I wouldn't care about the problem. I would get rid of you and be done with it, thinking that you were the problem altogether. I would, look, this is what we mean by they can't self-reflect. When we say they don't take accountability, I'll show you what this means. Me and you have a problem. It's not, oh, okay, you had your problems, I had my problems. No. You were the problem. You are the problem. And removing you will fix the problem. Because I'm not going to sit down here and self-reflect on myself. I'm not going to say, hey, maybe I wasn't. No, that's it. I'm pretty sure even if there was bad behavior from me, I know it's the result of you somewhere down the line. So, like, for example, it'll be as simple like this. It's not my fault for cheating. It's your fault for creating a toxic environment for me to actually want to cheat. It's not my fault for hitting you. It's your fault for making me angry to hit you. They'll always find the justification. They will not self-reflect. They will never take accountability despite the circumstances. There will never be accountability. Hey, thank you very much for the hand hearts, A-Team. What's up, Undaunted? How you doing, Michael? I'll let you be the judge of that, Sharon Lee. Let's go. Magic called me by my real name. I was like, Adam. I was looking in the chat, Adam. It's like, you mean Adam? Adam? This is Adam. This is Adam. Hey, good morning. How y'all doing? Today we're going to be talking about... I don't know, but I think it's a good idea, Magic. Hold on. A-Team, I'm so glad that you're here. And you know what, A-Team? Listen. A-Team. It takes a lot of time sometimes for a person to actually speak up. There is a lot of people in this community that usually just try to find a comfort zone before they could actually, say a thing or two. Everyone was welcome here, and I'm so glad that you found the courage or even the comfort to even just speak up and say what you're saying. So I'm really glad for that, A-Team. Okay, let me put the little sticker. Cap locks. What the? Boom. Hey, Tom, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Sheila. I'm glad this is a productive space for you. I have no family or solid people. I don't have to get over the narc. Sometimes, Joanna, all you need is yourself, believe it or not. I appreciate it. Cheers to that, Mary Alice. Tinkerbell, how you doing? It's been a while. Hey, I'm glad you're here with us, Blaze. What's up, Nicole? We tried for that. This mom's great. We can definitely talk about Ty. Will narcissists who discard you come back? Yes. Can you detect narcissists? Okay. First, I wanna talk about. We're gonna get back to this question, but I do want to answer Thriller jacket first, okay? Thriller jacket says, do they always come back? Yes, this is called hoovering. Let me explain hoovering for a bit. Now, a lot would say, well, they never came back for me, or they haven't done that yet for me. The way it works for a narcissistic person is that they assume that you're desperately waiting for them, or you will never find anybody as good as them, because they're that ego-driven or entitled to think that there's nothing better than them, right? So whether you discard them or they discard you or whatever the circumstances are, if they saw convenience in bringing you back or trying to bring you back, they'll come back to you without any, regards to the past and what happened. Hey, Jessica, thank you very much for the paper crane. Glad to hear that, Mia. I hope that was productive. Wait, what was the question that I had tagged? Are light workers empaths? Yes. Okay. Thank you, the Magic. Thank you so much. Can you detect narcs immediately when you meet them? I don't think it's about labeling a person upon meeting them as much as it is about understanding toxic behavior. I don't need a person to be a narcissist for me to understand that they may be so I don't need a person to be a narcissist for me to understand that they're toxic in behavior. So if I start to see toxic behavior, if I start to see red flags in that, if I start to see discomfort, if I start to see, that's it. That's where I draw the line. So the moment I see toxic behavior is where I start my work in vigilance, or where I start getting more, alert to who I'm dealing with. But then again, how do you get rid of an abusive narcissist? No. You can't tell by a picture they post on social media. Social media, social media, I see this a lot, right? We can't throw the word lightly on people. If I'm on, so if I go to so social media is becoming a tool that everyone has access to, right? So if I'm in my house and I want to put a picture in my house, I'm going to put the best picture of my house. I'm not going to give you a modest picture. No, I'm going to take the best picture. I'm going to hang it. I'm not going to put some modest picture so you can say, oh, look how modest. No, I'm going to put my favorite picture, the one I feel that it's best for me. I'm going to hang it. Does that mean I'm a narcissist? No. It just means I want to be perceived in the best way I feel comfortable with that. People have selfies doesn't necessarily mean narcissism. Not even remotely close to narcissism. You're playing with a camera, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's not like you're... Well, it's not our job to ID anybody. When it comes to narcissistic behavior, all you're trying to do is making sure you have strong enough boundaries. You have strong boundaries, okay? Because if you have strong boundaries, it doesn't matter how narcissistic a person is, they're not getting through to you. What if my parents are both? Well, you do what's best for you, Jenny. Prior empathy be real, even if they discard you. Can a narcissist prior empathy be real? No. Okay, so here now this is a really important question. Let's take a look at this, guys. What do you think about this? Let's guys, case study time. Guys, case study time. What do you guys think about this? No. I just found out my best friend. No. Okay, what if you say no? What's the reason? It's a man. Okay, Lynn, thank you. It was a theater play. Excellent. There you go. Okay, so do you know where I'm going with this, or what everyone's saying here? If the outlook, genuine behavior is consistent. Genuine and authentic behavior is consistent. If I'm nice to you, if I'm a nice person, then I will be nice to you. Even in the discard, it would be nice, right? But if I was highly empathetic and caring and compassionate and loving and whatnot, and then suddenly toxic and abusive and manipulative, then everything you saw in the beginning was just the way to get you to the point of where they could take advantage of you. So the only thing that's real is the outcomes. Turn it down. Oh no. Guys, David's gonna do it. I think at this point, maybe everyone's gonna get a sub. Hold on, wait, let me see. Right now, there's already 22 people in here subbed. So he's gonna drop, when he's up 50, it's gonna be like, well, that's crazy. What makes you think? Wait, so I do want to get to that question. That's a good question. Wait, hold on. On Friday, okay, Friday. Oh, I don't know how to read. All right, this is proof I need glasses, guys. This is proof I need glasses. I just don't. I'm just being too stubborn not to. Thank you, Tom, for getting rid of that. Like, They essentially get you. Then against 100%. It's all the love bombing phase. What can we expect in the next relationship after the narc? What battles are we going to face? Well, here's what you're supposed to expect. Here's what to expect. Not a future relationship. After your relationship with a narcissist, the next thing you want to expect is a relationship with yourself. You want to regain your self-love and self-worth and value, because the narcissist, throughout that relationship, has taken that from you. One of the most difficult problems coming out of a narcissistic relationship is realizing that they have taken it all away from you. So, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? So giving yourself the time that you need to regain your self-worth and love is where it's all at. And I'll tell you something else. And here's the interesting thing. You'll think, okay, so I'm not going back to relationships, so I'm just gonna sit down. And when you start working on yourself and you begin your path to recovery, the right people are going to come along as well. When you're working on yourself and you're doing the right thing for yourself, the right people will come along as well. The people that can appreciate and respect the value of your recovery and the high standards and boundaries that you create through your recovery. How do you begin working on yourself? That's a good question. I start with the triple R's. That's where I usually start with. No contact. No contact. First, no contact. And then the triple R's. The triple R's, y'all know it at this point. Letting go of resentment, retribution, and regrets. It's not, look, recovery is not easy, but it's also not impossible. And it's not something that you have to rush as well. Hey, Ang, thank you very much for the hearts. Well, then again, Melissa, turn that mirror around on them and let them understand who they are. I feel so much anxiety, can't sleep. Alright, Tammy. Anxiety, guys, anxiety is not a personality trait. It's not something that you've have or it's a result. It's an outcome. It's not a cause. It's an outcome. So Tammy, you're saying I feel anxiety. What makes you feel anxious like this? Hey, thank you, Lady A, for the hammer cards. Appreciate it. How do you stop being an empath? I don't think it's about stopping being an empath as much as it is learning how to manage and regulate your empathy. The 3 R's: resentment, regret, retribution. He left me with a fight 2 months ago. Can't sleep. Okay. Glad you're finding this productive, Orchie. You never were, Mary Alice. It wouldn't be beyond them, Fifi. I feel like the guy I'm dating just You know, healthy relationships are built over time, Kelly. There's no need to rush it. If you feel that this is something that you're not comfortable with, let it take its time. Hey Pete, thanks for the rose, appreciate it. He left me with a fight 2 months ago. Can't sleep. Why can't you sleep, Tammy? What exactly is it that you're missing? It's saying that we are just reacting. It's a reality, Mary Alice. Reactions are realities. You become what you couldn't find for yourself, Rara. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. You're making the world a better place, if anything. We become what we couldn't find for ourselves, Rara. We become what we couldn't find for ourselves. Guys, David made a very nice suggestion this morning, and I actually tried it, and I did it this morning. David suggested, like, why don't I drop the replays for the lives onto YouTube? So now I'm doing that. So every time we finish a live, I'll download it and I'll drop it on the YouTube. But the problem is the replays come without the chat. That's kind of weird. The replays, the ones that TikTok gives me, comes out without the chat. So what I want to do now is when I want to answer a question, I'll read out the question. So anytime I want to answer a question, I will read it out loud and then I'll answer. Yeah, so this way, when it comes out on the live, it'll make more sense. Yeah, it's a privacy thing for sure. To maintain everyone's, personal information. Yeah, that's true, Annette. But it'll be too if she records it, the problem with that would be the size of the file size, and moving around the files would be too difficult, because these lives go for 3 hours or something like that. So that could go like gigabytes of data. No, it's okay. I don't mind. Like I can so we'll just do the normal structure. We'll pin the comment like we normally do, and then we'll just move on from there. Hey, nothing wrong with it, Lucy. The only thing wrong with being an empath is being surrounded by the wrong people who cannot appreciate your empathy. No, we don't have to screenshot it. We can just do the normal pin structure, and we'll just ask the question. Well, we'll read the question out loud, then answer. And I think more deep dives would be, it would be fundamentally better if there was more deep dives too. Is it common for them to act like the victim? Is it common for the narcissist to act like the victim after the relationship ends? This is what we call, yes, it definitely is. This is called a smear campaign. And believe it or not, this begins way before the relationship actually ends. So the moment they start to realize the relationship is coming to an end, they start working on making sure that they can maintain their reputation and take away from your own credibility. The reason why they do this is to make sure that you don't have enough credibility to take away from the merit of who they are. So what they try to do is they try to tell everybody that, oh, you're crazy, you're abusive, you're the monster. They'll basically tell everybody that you are them, and they are you, basically. And the point here is, once the split happens, while you're occupied trying to salvage or save or make something out of the relationship towards the end, they were already situating it all together. So by the time the relationship ends, and of course, them thinking that you think like them, they'd assume that, oh, you're going to go around and tell everybody this and that. So they start trying to make sure to take away from your credibility. So that's why they victimize themselves. Does a narc stay married for a long time? Marriage and a narcissist, if the person is a narcissist, is really, it's more contingent to the supply they get off of the person that they're with. And there's multiple reasons for supply. It's not necessarily love. Guys, the supply, there's many different reasons why a narcissistic person would supply off of another person, and it's not just love. It could be sometimes financial, it could be social, it could be access, it could be as in keep them. What should we do to get our confidence back after narcissistic abuse? Your confidence comes back in separation and recovery. You don't necessarily do anything specific for your confidence. As much as you're working on your own recovery, the confidence comes back within the success of your progress within your recovery. Are they angry at themselves, or are they angry at themselves or at you? Both. A lot of the times their insecurities make them, well, you can always say a narcissist is always in their own inner conflict or always in a war with themselves, right? But then again, their frustrations, anytime they get angry, they're definitely going to take it out on the person because they're going to assume that you are the reason why. And they're always going to project that anger onto you, or they're going to try to make you the reason for their anger. But then again, sometimes that anger is to also manipulate you, to scare you, to make you become more submissive as well. So, are narcissists warlock, which is vampires? No, they're just traumatized people. Is it normal for them to convince themselves you're a cheater? Is it normal for them to convince themselves you're a cheater? This is what we call projections. Yes. There is many reasons why a narcissistic person would throw that label onto you or would try to accuse you of things that are not necessarily true, especially if it's something that they're actually guilty of. This is what we call projections or confessions. I know how to know. Guys, you want to talk about the dark empath? No, not necessarily, Michael. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. It's usually the inner child wounds that come as a result of being and growing up with a narcissistic parent or a narcissistic environment, not necessarily narcissistic parents. It's always a byproduct of childhood, undaunted. There is a very minor, there are minor cases where it's genetic, very minor cases, but not as much as for me to actually mention them. I believe that, Merjam. 100% I believe that. Let's talk about the dark empaths. First, let me start with this. I think I'll tell you that I do not have your typical perspective of it. The general definition of it is more a little bit, I feel, or at least personally, I believe it's insensitive. A dark empath is an empath that survives and endures a psychologically abusive narcissistic relationship. A normal empath would either get discarded or discard the narcissist once they've realized that their empathy is going to no purpose or going to no place. This is what would normally happen. But then again, narcissistic relationships are a lot more sophisticated than that. You have situations where, while the empath is trying to empathize and fix the narcissist and is heavily invested, the narcissist is constantly trying to trap them in the relationship. This is very typical behavior for narcissistic relationships, where they're always trying to find ways to make you more codependent, to make you more invested, to lock you in the relationship, to isolate you socially, financially, and whatnot. Now, an empath, despite the circumstances of what's going on, they are still heavily invested in making it work. So the more the empath gives, the more the narcissist takes, and the more they take, the more they expect, and they just keep taking and taking and taking and taking and taking. And the empath keeps giving. But the more the empath gives, the more resilient they become. Now, what's going to happen, and here's where the darkness starts to come into play. The empath, with the intent to maintain the relationship, is going to start learning the language of their abuser. They're going to learn how to return the manipulation, not to be malicious, but to contain the situation, not to cause harm, not to become their abuser, but to contain them, to try to control the situation. So they master reverse psychology, and what was once the prey becomes the predator, and the predator becomes the prey. And when the narcissist can no longer supply or loses control, they do what they do best. They detach, they discard, they become the victim, and they leave the empath in the darkness that they found themselves in. So, the dark empath does have the dark triad, in which that means they are fully capable of being as destructive and toxic as a narcissist, to the point where it might even become sociopathic. But the difference between a dark empath and a narcissist, and why I don't like the actual definition for this, is that a dark empath is a survivor. A survivor that learned how to defend themselves against circumstances where they had no other option but to defend themselves. And we antagonize them. We criticize and judge them because they learned how to stand up for themselves when no one would help them do it, or everyone turned their backs on them, or just watched them as they suffered in their own silence. So that's the dark empath from my perspective. Hey David, thank you very much. Appreciate it. What nationalities consist of narcissistic capabilities? We all have narcissistic tendencies and traits. I don't think you can necessarily measure a nationality by a mental health disorder. I think that's an inappropriate way to approach that. Hey, thank you, Susan, for the heart me. Did I mute Mirko? Hey Ty, thanks for Rose. It's okay. You want me to unmute? Hold on, guys. 1 second. Settings. There's Mirko. Wait, was that the right one? There you go. Hey Jennifer, how you doing? No, you're good, man. Don't worry about it. Guys, listen to this. I'd like to hear your thoughts on Jesus Christ. No, you're not, TGI, you're not. He is our savior. I'm not that much of a religious person, but I will say I do respect all faiths and religions. And I would say, God bless us all. Amen. All right. So you guys want to talk about borderline personality disorder? Okay. How does a dark empath heal? Okay, let's talk about that before we get into BPD. A dark empath can heal and can find their way back to the light. But also, it's important to recognize this. It's important to recognize that healing has different forms, and it's a matter of our perception. How are you, David? It's a matter of perception. The very first thing that happens to a dark empath usually, or what traps them in their darkness is retribution. The mindset that they find themselves in as a result of being abused or taken advantage of, and what they learn. So one may assume that revenge and retribution would be healing. And if you're in this mindset, if you're stuck with this perspective, then in reality you're not necessarily even close to healing. You're trapped within the trauma or within the darkness of the situation rather than your own path to recovery. And I will say this, it's not easy for a person to come, look, we're talking about this in facts and stuff like that, but when we're talking about dark empathy, you're talking about a person who's placed a good 5 to 10 to 20 years into a person facing abuse and going through that. It's not easy for a person just like, okay, I'm out of here. So I would not be judgmental to assume that they could just begin the recovery, because after 20 years of psychological abuse, you're trying to rewind all that. You're trying to move back from all that. So it's not easy. It's never going to be an easy task. It's not going to happen over day and night. So usually the very first thing that a dark empath finds themselves in is retribution, wanting to get revenge, wanting to get closure, and having the capabilities of accomplishing that too. A dark empath is not vulnerable or weak. On the contrary, they are capable of getting their revenge. But the sad truth behind this is, when they do, and if they do, once they climb that mountaintop, once they get to the very top, they will find themselves in the same spot they were before they climbed the mountain. Because revenge is pointless. Because you do not overcome your abuser by becoming them or becoming worse than them. You become no different than the ones that put you in that spot. So the truth is, the only form of recovery is peace. Peace and liberation. That's the only form of recovery. So, whatever journey it takes, whatever path they would have to take in order for them to come to this recognition is where it's all at. I'll take that, David. Revenge is never the answer. Revenge is never the answer. Now you let it out, so there's nothing wrong with that. Sorry to hear that, relocated. Now, yes, this is what we call the supernova. That is what, now, in that breaking point, hey Chantel, thank you very much for the sub. Appreciated. Thank you very much for the sub, Chantel. That moment, that breaking point, that turn of perspectives is called a supernova. A supernova is when the empath takes a pause and starts to understand the importance of self-love and self-care and making themselves a priority, and then learning how to properly utilize discernment, when and when not to empathize with the situation. It's when they start to learn the balance between compassionate and cognitive empathy rather than just focusing on compassionate empathy. Then and there, they would be more capable of knowing a good, like when to take an approach, when to take a step back. They'll be more mindful, more stoical. And definitely experienced. And if you ask me personally, I don't believe in super empaths. I don't believe in Heyoka empaths. I don't believe in all these other kind of types. I only believe in inexperienced empath and experienced empath. Dark empath, well, the only way I see dark empath is just because dark here tells you that it was a long journey into the wrong path. The moment where an empath starts to recognize their strength and their resilience as an empathetic person and learn how to control it and not just give it indiscriminately or regardless of the circumstances. Thanks for Rose, Dave. Thank you very much so for the heart me. Why did they mute that? Imagine. Everything changes with experience, A-Team. Everything changes with experience. That's very true. An empath learns that not everyone deserves their love and kindness. And not every person that you see is necessarily a person that you need to empathize with. What's up, Hero? I find silent treatment so hard. How is the best way to deal with it? By not entertaining it. The best way to deal with the silence treatment is by not entertaining it. Is by fighting fire with fire in these kind of cases. If they go silent on you, you go silent with them. What is shadow work? Shadow work is the integration between who you are or who you want to be. I'm sorry. It's the integration between who you want to be and who you think you are with who you actually are at the current moment. Hey, 18, thank you for the hand heart. Okay, so what does this look like? It's not. I know a lot of people when they hear the word shadow work, they immediately jump to spirituality and assume that it means something demonic or. But in reality, it's not. It's just basically integrating your shadow self, who you see yourself as, with who you actually are. Now, in life, what really happens is we come across different kind of obligations, commitments, and whatnot that changes our path in life and how we approach things. Now, the problem here is you think that you're doing what's right for yourself. Okay, I'm paying the bills, I'm doing my job, I'm doing my career, I'm doing this for my family, I'm doing this for the business, I'm doing this for you know. And you're assuming that you're doing good because you're covering every other obligation that's around you. So you assume that would mean everything's okay, but in reality what you're doing is you're becoming a person for the circumstances and environment around you, forgetting who you actually are, or what you actually want to be, or what your legacy is. I would agree 110% to that. Some crazy rain in the back there. That's true. People around you can either make you. I agree 100% to that. They can either make you better or worse. And better yet, if you're surrounded with people who are making you worse, then you're better off by being by yourself altogether. You begin to heal the moment you let go of revenge, Bilal Khan. That's very true. Because you let it go. Why do I... Hey, CEO, thank you very much for the hand hearts. Why do I continue to love these hollow people, narcissists and sociopaths? Because you have two problems. Let me get some water. There's two problems for this, and I'll explain why. The first could be that you haven't properly healed from the first one. You haven't properly healed from the first one, and you find yourself moving into the next one, assuming that you're going to meet a person that's going to put you back together. But in reality, instead of finding a person that's going to put you back together, you find a person who takes advantage of you instead. So you assume that coming out of a toxic relationship, you're going to find a person that's going to put your pieces back together. But guess what? When you go into the open seas with scars and wounds, you're only going to find sharks. And when I say sharks, you're going to find the ones that know what they're looking for, the ones that want to take advantage of the situation. So, when we come out of a toxic relationship, or a narcissistic one, more specifically, what we need to do is the next thing we do is not go into a relationship. It's one of those nights. I'm actually enjoying it, guys. I keep hoping he will notice there's a problem. If he would have noticed, you wouldn't have to be hoping. The guys have spoken. All right. All right. I am in the midst of a separation, and he's going hard with my hard math. Deadlift. Here's what you're going to do. Deadlift. What do you mean by... Can you be more specific with that last part? Going hard with... Is he threatening... Is he threatening you by saying that if you don't, then he's going to? Is that what's happening? Okay. Call the police and send a welfare check to his house. That's all you got to do. Do you know where he is? This is called manipulation through sympathy. Listen, this is called manipulation through sympathy. Okay? I need you to understand that first, you are not responsible for the choices that he makes. The same way how you are not responsible for him leaving you, cheating on you, doing whatever he did to you. So him having access to you and trying to twist your arm with a threat like this can be extremely difficult. But you're not the person capable of helping him. You are not equipped with the tools to help him. If he's expecting for you to become his punching bag, or else he will do whatever, then then that's not necessarily an option that you have to give. Give him the number 211 and tell him reach out to a hotline or a professional that can help you. You are not responsible for the decisions and the choices that he makes. He had his chance. He was in the relationship with you. He chose not to work through it. The divorce is happening. You are no longer responsible. Don't let him twist your arm into making decisions that you're not comfortable with. This is called manipulation. Do you wear anything different? No. I like my shirt in vest. You don't like it? I think it looks cool. I'm more comfortable like this. I could give two shits what anyone thinks about how I look. I promise you that. I'm married. I have 2 kids. I love my wife. And if whatever anyone's perception of me and how I look, I'll just tell you like this. You like it, you don't like it, it's up to you. We watch cartoon characters go for like around 5,000 episodes in the same shirt and pants, and no one says a thing. This is my comfy shirt, so I could give 2 shits what you think about it. No, somebody was asking about my. Hey, Dave, thank you very much. Thank you guys. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Dead Lilith. This is the reason why we go no contact, Dead Lilith. This is the reason why we go no contact, because they're always going to try to find a way to get under your skin or to twist the narrative against you. Hey, user, thank you. Appreciate it. You can almost feel it because the kind of stress that he's putting on you is definitely the reason why you feel like that. Thank you, user, for the handouts. Appreciate it. My husband and my 2 girls are narcissists and gaslighting me constantly. I feel defenseless. I appreciate you, Michael. I honestly don't really, to be honest, yeah, March 25th. I swear I have really no care for that, to be honest. Maja, do you see the comments that get filtered out too? Maja, do you see the comments that get filtered out too? Like, why do they get filtered out, right? But some of these comments have nothing to do with, like, there's just absolutely no reason why they're filtered out. It's just filtered. Like, TikTok is just. I know I usually approve them too, right? But I'm thinking to myself, like, why are some of these why are they placed out to begin with? There's no reason why they should be, you know? It makes no sense to me. Why can't narcissists keep jobs? I don't think that's necessarily maintaining a job isn't necessarily something that is associated to narcissism or NPT. That's more of an individual thing. There are some, on the contrary, it could be that's definitely be the opposite of what you just said. Some narcissists are really, actually, a narcissist would be more invested in sticking with a job than actually leaving a job. And that's mainly because knowing that if there is a point in which they could work towards becoming more, or gaining authority, that's definitely where it's going to be at. I don't think dental hygiene care is necessarily tied to narcissism. I think dental hygiene care is basically tied, it's your education, your upbringing and whatnot. If you grow up with a family that doesn't really encourage it, or if you go to a school or a district, or let's say that don't really kind of have that as a cultural thing, then you most likely may not have good dental hygiene. But the hygiene of a narcissist in general is always questionable, including dental hygiene. Like, dental hygiene specifically, I don't think that's tied to narcissism, but I do think that a lot of people can relate with narcissists having poor hygiene, and that's mainly because they just feel that confident in themselves. I'm in Illinois. There you know. Discernment, Nancy. How do you stop from feeling others' feelings when you don't even know it's not your feelings? Hey, I appreciate that, Lilith. Hold on, I want to answer these questions. I want to answer this question because they're basic. So Victoria and Nancy asked almost the same question. Nancy asked, being an empath tends to make me too approachable and nice. I feel vibes. How can I protect myself? Then Victoria follows with, how do you stop from feeling others' feelings when you don't even know it's not your feeling to begin with? Discernment. As a person that's highly empathetic, you're like an emotional sponge. You're taking in all the emotions and energies that you're interacting with. It's your default nature of trying to find ways to provide your empathy to those around you. But in the process of doing so, you need to absorb or understand, because when you empathize with a person, you're seeing things through their perspective. When you empathize with a person, you're seeing things through their perspective. So that means you're feeling their emotions, you're feeling what they're going through, you're feeling their struggles, you're seeing it through their eyes, you're walking through their shoes, so you're experiencing it with them. With that in mind, you're also putting that emotional burden on yourself too. You're carrying that baggage. Now, what happens is, and here's where the problem is, you're going to start forgetting yourself. And you might neglect that you also have to process your own emotions and feelings. I'm going to tell you how to differentiate between the two, but before I get to that, I think here's the 3 golden rules that I'll give you for both of you. Right? And if you can master these 3 golden rules, you're going to properly handle, you will never have a problem with empathy. And I say this, and I'm telling you these now, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's just like a snap. And, you're going to, it takes real experience to understand these rules. Rule number 1, you can support a person to heal, but you cannot heal for them. These are the rules of discernment. You can support a person to heal, but you cannot heal for them. That's 1. Trying to heal for them will make you a crutch or an enabler, in which they never really heal, and you just get drained out in the process of trying to help them. Which brings us to the second rule. You cannot help a person unless they want to help themselves first. A person would need to be able to see the thing that you're trying to help them with. Otherwise, everything you do goes without meaning to them, because they don't know what you're protecting them from, or what you're trying to empathize, or what your role is to them. Which leads to the last rule. You can't empathize at the expense of your own mental health. If you empathizing with a person has to come at the price of your mental health, that's where you draw the line. You cannot pass that line. Now, this is how to maintain or have proper discernment. Understanding these 3 rules and being able to self-reflect on them before making a move will be key to protecting your own energy and peace. Now, the next question was, how do you differentiate or recognize your emotions from the feelings of another person? Yo, David! Let's go, David. Let's go. Now, if you're dealing... Okay, so right now, I am empathizing with a person. I am overwhelmed. I've had an emotional overload. I'm broken down. I've reached my capacity. I'm drained out. I'm now exhausted. Now, if I am trying to differentiate my feelings from the feelings of somebody else, I will understand this. If the feelings that I have control over it, if I can do something about my feelings, if me experiencing these feelings can lead to something and a reaction that I can do to change that. For example, if I'm feeling sad, if I can do something to kind of alleviate that sadness, that means I have control over this feeling. That means this feeling is mine. However, if I can only consume this feeling, then I'm dealing with something that's not for me. If my use for this feeling is only consumption, then I'm definitely feeling the emotions of somebody else, which I have no control over except consumption, just understanding it, sympathizing with it, feeling with it, but there's no control over it. My emotions, hey, what's up, Tara? How you doing? My emotions are defined by my ability to control it or to do something about it. Whereas the emotions of somebody else is out of my control. Is it? And not really, Twilight's. I love this chat. I love everybody in this community. This community is definitely. I always look forward to coming on live, because most of the people that we have here in this live are not people that are just randoms. These are people that I have been speaking with, or at least came to become more associated with, to the point where I feel them very close to me and dearly. You see, when you empathize with a person and you exchange that empathy back and forth with that person, I feel you create a deeper connection with that person. I think our community is very, very tight. Hey, I appreciate Truth Seeker. So I'm in a place of comfort. I am not speaking to strangers. I am speaking to people I know and care for, and people who know me and care for me as well. So it's kind of like when you're talking to your brothers and sisters, you know? What's up, Jay? Well, we try to keep it, Jennifer, that way until the trolls come along and start doing their weird thing. Hey, Kelly, thanks for heart me. I appreciate your friend. It goes both ways, Krista. Empaths, how do you know? What is that question? Go no contact emotionally. Do whatever you need to do. How to release negative energy that causes from the narc? By space, allowing yourself to take space and working on yourself. Hey, this mom is great. Right back at him. Well, it's good to have you here with us, David. You've been a blessing ever since you came. Is it possible for a dark empath not ever heal and use? It is possible, Michael. It is the possibility that we don't talk much about. It's definitely possible for a dark empath to not necessarily find the light and to become more invested in their darkness. But beyond that point, you're no longer talking about dark empathy at that point. Sociopaths, undaunted. When you're at your breaking point, you're always one step away from any place you may not want to be at. Hey, Coleman and Bailey. All right, Deborah, ask the question, please. How did I stay resentful to my ex-narc by protect my kids? I want to talk about this. All right, this is a good question. Colin, Bailey, how you doing? How do I not stay resentful to my ex-narc, but protect myself, but still be the best? Okay, let's start with this. First, let's start with some coffee. Oh, guys, okay, let's start first by getting the coffee. So good. Alright, cheers to that, Crystal. Okay. How do I not... Oh, no. What's the question? I lost the question. Let me find it really quick. I took so long pouring that coffee. Did I literally take 60 seconds to pour a cup of coffee? How do I not stay resentful? By understanding that resentment. It's all about understanding that resentment. Okay, how do I not stay resentful to my narcissistic ex? By understanding that resentment that you hold towards the narcissist is a closure, is you looking for closure from them, or for them to validate you, or to acknowledge the pain they've done to you. The reason why you resent them is because they never really acknowledge the damage they've done to you. So you hold on to that resentment with the idea in your mind that you want justice, or you want to be seen or heard, or at least understood. At least let them know that they've done you wrong. But the problem here is the person who's done you wrong knows you want that closure, and they're not going to give it to you. But also, the reality is you're looking for closure with a person who's not going to give it to you while you already have closure. You're looking for closure with a person who's never going to give it to you while you actually have closure. Now you're saying in your mind, okay, what on earth is this guy talking about? The situation that you're in right now is closure. The situation that you're in right now in this relationship is closure within itself. So the thing that you're looking for, or what you're hoping for, or what you aim to achieve is just an illusion that all the manipulation and all the push and pull of that toxic relationship has created for you. So, you let go of the resentment by understanding it. Now, here's what I'm going to say to this. We forgive, not them, to hell with them, right? When I say we forgive, I'm saying you forgive yourself for what you went through. We forgive to forget. We forgive to forget. We forgive ourselves for going through what we went through, to make peace with it, to accept it, to put it behind us. Because if we don't put it behind us, then we can't see the path forward because we're too busy looking backwards. You can't move forward when you're looking backwards. So we forgive to forget, to put it behind us so we can see the path ahead of us. Oh, you're good. This one's great. Hygiene, you can get a restraining order if he keeps chasing you everywhere. I don't think we were gullible. I think we were doing the best that we could within the time that we were in. Well, I'm glad you're here with us, Rough Indian. He was that with someone else within a week after 14 years together. How do I stop thinking about them? You stop thinking about them by making sure to prioritize yourself, by understanding both he and her are not relevant. If he is no longer a part of your life, then he should no longer be a part of your thought process. I understand you may be trauma bonded to him, and that's definitely the case in your situation. But moving forward, and the way we're looking at this and how we approach this, he's not relevant. She's not relevant. The only person here that's relevant right now is you, as you are the person experiencing these scars and wounds. I appreciate you, Kel. Do narcs love? They love themselves, Alice. Is it possible? Okay, now here's I wanna focus on this. Is it possible for someone to evolve into a narcissist? No, it's not. But I'll tell you what. While it isn't, your toxic or narcissistic ex will convince you that you standing up for yourself and setting boundaries and trying to counter their toxic behavior is narcissistic in itself. A toxic person will always try to convince you that you trying to defend yourself is toxic in itself. So this is the reason why every time a person comes out of a narcissistic relationship, the very first thing they do is they ask themselves, am I the narcissist? Hey man, Top, thank you for the lemon buddy. So, in reality, you're doing what you had to do to survive. I'll tell you this. I'm glad to have you here in the call with us. Reacting to abuse does not make you the abuser. Reacting to abuse does not make you the abuser. You are just a victim of reactive abuse in this case. You standing up for yourself. Well, let me give you a different analogy. I'll show you. I'll give you a different perspective to comprehend this better. Let's say I come to you. Let's say I come to. Let's say who are you using for the example? Who are you using for the example? When you expose them to lie or betrayal. Are there not certain personas? Yes, hold on a second. Okay. No, I just wanted to turn on the heater. It's getting so cold in here because of the weather. Okay, so let's say this. Let's say you're sitting down and I come and I push you. I keep pushing you and I push you and I push you. Now I am the aggressor, right? I am the person who's being aggressive to you. And all you're doing is just blocking and blocking. Now, let's say, eventually, after pushing you to the edge of your actions, you eventually push me back. Now, I fall on my behind and I get hurt. Does this mean you're a violent person? Does this mean you're a violent person? Now, the same applies to psychological abuse. If I'm constantly abusing you and abusing you and abusing you and abusing you, and you stand up for yourself, and I go around and say, oh, well, you're the abuser because you stood up for yourself, does that make you the abuser? So, reacting to abuse does not make you the abuser, despite your toxic ex trying to convince you or gaslight you into believing that you are. It doesn't change the reality. By the way, guys, if anyone's new here and haven't already, make sure to hit the follow button. Make sure to hit the follow button if you're new here and haven't already. We go live every day from 10 p.m. Central Time all the way up till late night like this. Usually go on for I don't know, and depending on if I have work or not. So thank you guys for the follow. I appreciate it. We're always trying to grow our community and get bigger. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. Self-abuse is when you believe that the verbal, psychological, emotional abuse. Yes. When you come out of a toxic relationship, at first they gaslight you and whatnot, and then when they're gone, if you're traumatized or you're going through the PTSD, you start gaslighting yourself. Hey, thank you very much, Trisha. I don't do book recommendations, Risen. Hey, Texas Boy, thank you very much for the handguns. Appreciate it. I can't really promote on TikTok lives. But if you message me, I'll give you some good recommendations. Texas Boy Mom, thank you very much for the money. I appreciate it. I have been told I'm not. How do I know? Who told you, D? Alright, let's talk about this, D. First of all, who told you that you are a narcissist? Thank you, Texas Boy Mom. Hey, Arkansas, how you doing? Your partner. And why does your partner call you a narcissist? A narcissist is first of all, it's a mental health disorder in which the person is ego-driven, self-entitled, and lacks empathy for those that they interact with. Now, my question to you is, why did he call you a narcissist? Isn't that most men? But no. Not necessarily true. There's so much. I don't want to walk away or end up alone. Well, it is what it is, Mike Morris. Despite the circumstances, whether you love her or not, the reality is what it is. You know, you gotta see it for what it is. Hey, Trisha, thank you, love. You appreciate it. That's true, Texas Boy Mom. So you're being gaslit. So if you're not playing the mind games or the psychological warfare, you're a narcissist? Is that what I'm understanding? Well, I would say most of the good quality people that you might want to run into and may not be or have the same kind of skill set as a person who's manipulative or toxic is trying to get the most of what they can. You have a good night, Tara. Okay, so D. Now, judging by this one observation, what do you think? Do you think you're a narcissist? I don't think so. Why did you ask when you first came into live? Why did you ask if you were a narcissist, D? Why did you ask if you were a narcissist when you first came into the live? If you don't think you are one. We all have narcissistic traits and tendencies, Jeffrey. It is. You're right, Marks. But she needs to come to that conclusion on her own. Because I gave in until I don't have anything to give. I feel like right now. Okay. Do you know why you asked that question? Because what you're trying to do, hey Cindy, thank you very much for the sub, appreciated. What you're trying to do is you're taking accountability. You're trying to take accountability. You're self-reflecting within yourself. These are two things that a narcissist doesn't do. You wouldn't be sitting in a live with over 218 people trying to understand if you were the problem. You know, narcissistic people can never be the problem. They are always right. They're never wrong. They're never mistaken. And everything happens for a reason. And whatever that is. And even in the case of even if they did have problematic behavior, it most likely was a result of because of the person that they were with, not them. Hey, thank you for the team bracelet. Texas Boy Mom. So, he can tell you you're a narcissist. He can call you a narcissist. Doesn't mean you are one. And if anything, it's just an attempt to gaslight you into thinking that you are a problem when you're not. This is kind of the way to because right now you chose peace over chaos. And you're learning to navigate your way through his toxic behavior. And now that you're learning how to counter his toxic behavior, he's trying to punish you by putting the scope of focus only on you, without ever for a doubt, without ever for a second putting the lens of that focus on himself. Hey Trish, thanks for the hand arts, appreciate it. So, are you a narcissist? No, you're not. Are you being accused of it? Pretty sure you are. Arkansas, I agree with you 100%. That's exactly what's happening here. She's being called one without necessarily being one. But then again, that's nothing new in the world of a narcissist. We all have narcissistic traits and tendencies. It doesn't mean we're narcissists. We all have narcissistic traits and tendencies, but that doesn't mean that we're all narcissists. When we talk about narcissists, we're talking about the actual mental health disorder. Why didn't I see it? Because you gave the person the benefit of the doubt. Because you didn't want it to be true. Because Daisy asks, why does a narcissist think they can overcome an empath? Why does a narcissist think they can overcome an empath? They do not or cannot comprehend empathy. They don't have empathy. They cannot comprehend it. So those that cannot comprehend empathy would only assume that it means that you're being gullible or ignorant or easy to manipulate, until they start to realize what that empathy is. They don't comprehend empathy. That's why they always try to think they can overcome an empath. How to shut down a narcissist, bro. Okay. Having that kind of mindset of wanting to shut down the narcissist is the wrong mindset to have, bro. Hey Trisha, thank you very much for the sweet memories. And I say that because you thinking like this, hey Mama Lee, how you doing? Thank you, Mama Lee, for them, buddy. You thinking like this is a product of their manipulation too as well. So if you're thinking about how to beat them in their own game or play their game, you already lost before you even started it. You lost way before you even started, because that means now they got you playing the game. This is what they do. They make you reactive. They make you want to think like this. Because they're already trying to convince you that you're crazy. They're trying to convince you that you're a narcissist. They're trying to convince you that you're this bad this person that's like straight from hell. And then you come in when you start to play their games and think like them, they've succeeded in manipulating you into becoming the person that they accuse you of. Hey, user 698. Trisha, thank you for the sweet memory. Appreciated. How are they able to pick up those reactions so well? Because they're not so they're not emotionally invested. They're not as emotionally invested as you are. You're trying to fix a relationship. You're trying to patch a relationship. You're trying to sort through it. From their perspective, they're just trying to find ways to regain control. You're not seeing the relationship from the same perspective. You're not seeing it from the same kind of understanding. You're not seeing it as I want to save this relationship. From there, seeing it like I want to maintain control of this relationship. And these two different perspectives make it easier for them, or at least for each, to come to these resolutions, because that's what they're looking for. Don't you worry about it, Jerry. Don't play that game with them. Well, that's cool, Mary Ellis. All of a sudden, all his exes are visiting my social. Block them all. Don't put much thought into it, Gratchy. And I say this because usually they try to get reactions from you to use those reactions against you. They want to lure, they want to bait you. They want some kind of response. Liko, it's not your fault if a person's corrupted. It's not your fault if a person's corrupted. What is the difference between a narcissist and an avoidant? An avoidant is trying to process their emotions, and they distance themselves to process their emotions. A narcissist is always trying to seek control. Or may distance themselves as a form of manipulation, if anything. If you're comparing the two, that's probably the perspective you're looking at it from. But a narcissist can also be an avoidant too as well. But that doesn't necessarily mean that all avoidants are narcissists. Yeah, good night, Garachi. Good night, user 438. Well, it makes me. I always feel good. I have a good support system. This mom is great. I always feel good. Why a covert narcissist believes he is an empath and blames the victim to be the narc? Okay, and let's talk about this. It's not a covert narcs believe that they're an empath. A covert narc will be whatever he or they have to be in order to succeed in manipulation. Well, that's because they're looking for something to throw at you, Trisha. It doesn't matter big or small. If it's something they can tag you with and build on, that's definitely what they're looking for. Guys, you know what? Do you think the reason why we're having all these tornadoes and all this craziness is because of the statue? I did say first of all, user 438. I did say goodnight. I did see what you said, and I said goodnight, by the way. Paige, but your name is I'm gonna finish what I started. Where is it? Hold on. Let me get my flashlight. Or actually, I can put this light on. Watch out, guys. Bright light, bright light, bright light. Watch out. This thing has to move. I tripped on it like 5 times today. Trisha, what are you talking about, Trisha? No, of course not. Hold on. Guys, wait. We're gonna find the statue. What do I do? Do I break it? Do I dispose it? How do I get rid of it? Where's the flashlight button? Wait, guys. Hold on. I'll show you in a second. Hold on, I'm gonna show you guys what it is. Give me a second. Okay, power button. Shirt will change. I have this thing. I want to get this flashlight on. Oh no, I had to get all the mosquitoes in too. Stupid Jules. There you go. We got a light. Wait. Here it is. Guys, what do we do with it? Alright, hold on, look. What do we do? What do we do? Do we break it? Do we put in the trash? Bury it? Oh, hell no. Okay, I'll show you what it is. gifted to a narcissist. Why can't it just have a power button? What is this crazy flashlight? Guys, this flashlight, the moment you press it, the flashlight, the moment you press the... Alright, what do I do with it? I'm convinced that this thing might have a curse. I'm not really a spiritual person, but I don't know who it is. Alright, guys. Right, here he goes. There you go. We're done with this guy. My daughter found it in her room. Bye bye, Alinka. Okay, now the question is, do I break it? Or do I just dump it? Guys, if I can break it, will I get a curse or something like that? Alright. So... okay, so I just... take like this, and there you go. Problem solved. Forever. You gotta be like, that's. David said, do you have a neighbor you don't like? And hey, I got you George Washington. I think we've sorted that out. Did you notice something, guys? Did you notice something? It stopped raining. No? I'm just saying. Feel better? Well, we're gonna have to get some coffee to know that. My friend is consistently gaslights me, but she's really nice. I don't know. Well, if a person is nice but abusive, then them being nice is only so they can be abusive. Let's put it that way. If a person is nice but abusive, then them being nice is only so they can be abusive. It's kind of like the push and pull structure. Or can you mail the statue? Not really. Boy, heat turn me, no. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Hey Trisha, thank you very much. Okay. She feels entitled to my money. She gets mad at me for not buying her food. Well, it's a good thing that you're setting the boundaries for her to understand that it's not okay. It doesn't matter how she feels. Your boundaries are your boundaries, and you're gonna have to set them one way or the other. And it's good that you're doing the effort to make that happen. Having anxiety about seeing my ex. What can I do? It's okay for you to have triggers to trauma, Mama Lee. There's nothing wrong with sparking a trigger. So don't be overwhelmed by it. You have a good night, Ager. Overt narcissists are more common than covert. The narcissists give you a lot of attention, and when you leave them, they become super mean. I think that's not the, like... I think I try my best, and I don't think nobody knows everything. We're all, look, in life, a person who knows all is a person who doesn't know enough, or at least is a person who cannot learn more. We never know enough. We only know as much as we know. You know what I mean? And we're all learning. What you know now, look, here's the thing, right? What you know now, right at this moment, even if it's something that you feel that you're extremely experienced in, right? Even if it's something that you're extremely experienced in and you're confident, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you're going to be in a different mindset with more knowledge and experience. And you look back and say, oh, I can't believe I used to think this and that, whatever. So we're always learning. We're always learning. A person who thinks they know it all is a person who doesn't know enough. What about two narcissists getting together? Not much will happen there. They will love bomb each other in the beginning, and then once the struggle for supply begins, that's where they kind of break up. We're always learning, Arkansas. That's, the more experienced you are as an empath, that's what you want to do. You want to learn how to be able to manage and regulate it, and to shut it down in situations where it may play against you or it may not be at your best advantage. Is it normal to try to rationalize what caused the narcissistic traits of someone and feel sympathy? It's okay to sympathize with, look, we don't have anything against, look, it's okay to sympathize with a person with a mental health disorder, but it's not okay to allow that sympathy to justify their toxic behavior against you. In reality, we all sympathize with what a narcissist has been through or how they got to that point. But that does not mean or justify their toxic behavior against you. Misplaced caper, of course that's always going to be a choice that you're going to have to make on your own, but I will say this. Sometimes a narcissist or a toxic person will try to make sure that they have a hook or an anchor with you, and this comes in the form of money or possessions or your mail, knowing that they'll always have something for you to chase, so there's always going to be a meeting point where you're going to keep trying to come back at them. I appreciate you, Danielle. Children's a whole different ballpark. Children's an anchor in this case, not a backdoor. A backdoor is something that you're going to keep coming for. And that's something they can use to keep you locked in the relationship. And avoidant is a cluster A mental health disorder, and that's when a person tends to distance themselves because they don't know how to properly communicate or process what they're going through. Nice. Thank you, Krista Harper. Hey, Jay Mano. I feel like using dogs to keep hurting me somehow. Don't overthink it, Truth Seeker. I would say the best thing you can do at this point is not to overthink it. Do you think narcissists appreciate romantic places during the date? Them appreciating a place during a date, like, I don't really see what's the relevance of that question. Like, what like, they could appreciate it. On the contrary, a narcissist would definitely appreciate if a place works and whatnot. They're traumatized. David, thanks to Harvey, appreciate it. They're traumatized, Joanne. And anger and mad, these are not necessarily personality traits. These are outcomes and, emotions that you can't really define a person by. Yes, Crystal, that's what I wanted to say. They use things to their advantage. So if they could appreciate a place if it has success to them in doing what they do. How do you get rid of a narcissistic person? By learning how to love yourself and knowing your self-worth and value. Is the devil with them? No, I don't think it's a devil thing. I think it's just trauma. It's Abraham, it's not curable. When you leave, they actually cry because they miss you. Why do they suddenly cry? No, that's because they want to regain control. They do what they need to do to regain control. They could be the most savage person, the most cold person, but once they start to realize that they're losing control, they'll play every card within the book. They'll play every card within their book to regain control. That includes crying at command if they have to. That includes pretending that you only have a week to live, or maybe a month, or anything to regain control. And the reason why they care so much, this is the push and pull, bait and switch. Abraham. So here's the thing. In the best case scenario, they would become self-aware. But even in the case of them becoming self-aware, that's not something that you give to them. You don't contribute to that personally. That's something they have to do on their own accord. If you do force them or obligate them to attend therapy or by a court, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to cooperate. And sometimes they could just sit down there and just waste the time of the therapist and your time and just, Hey, Mom Holy, thank you very much for the soundbite. Suddenly have cancer. I'll tell you what. There is one that I'll tell you a story about a narcissist and cancer. So there was this person who was going through an extremely narcissistic relationship. At one point, she said, hey, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm done with this. And she parted ways with him. And he was like, yeah, sure. He actually was cheating on her, so he didn't have a problem. And he continued to cheat and whatever, right? And then he got dumped, and where is he gonna go? He's gonna go back to her. And she was steadfast in not accepting him. She was resilient. She said, hey, you know what? No, we're done. I'm not interested. Until he pulled up the story that the reason why he came back is because he realized that he has cancer and he doesn't have much time to live, and he wants to try to make sure that he fixes everything before he leaves this world. And the truth, he's been up and around this world and couldn't find anybody as good as she was to him. And she was like, oh my God, this is not something lightly. This is, this is a big thing. This is more, this is bigger than what we're going through. And of course, and she took him back to support him, to help him and whatever. A month later, he was back to the same person he was before. And then becoming more toxic, and then using the sickness to his advantage. A year later, he got tired of the act of, oh, I have cancer, like that. And then guess what he said? I don't know what happened, but I somehow miraculously cured from it. I cured my own cancer. And she's, of course, asking for medical reports and stuff like that. It's like, there's no need for medical reports anymore. I cured my cancer. Just like that. He somehow found the cure to cancer. Was his ego. Moral of the story: a narcissist will create a permanent disease, or they will stand at the edge of their own destiny and fate, and then they will cure cancer for the sake of their own manipulation. And by the way, she asked, do you think he really cured cancer? I was like, hell no, of course he didn't cure cancer. He didn't even have cancer. Most importantly, she dumped him, by the way. So she dumped him after she didn't fall for like, she doubts it, but she did dump him eventually. That was But you'll see that story in many variations. Alright, guys. So, guys, it's 1 a.m. and we're going to end the live soon. I do want to say this. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. I hope you enjoyed and found this to be a productive live. We're not going to end the live. We're going to move into the next segment of what we do. But I know I do appreciate everyone who's here. After this, we're going to do battles. And I know not everyone likes battles. So for anyone who doesn't like battles, I will say thank you very much for being here. If I did not answer your questions, please come back tomorrow. If you want to stick around for battles, we're going to be doing that in the next 30 minutes. Okay? If you haven't, make sure to hit the follow button, and we're going to resume in a minute. 1 second. Hold on, guys. Alright. Guys, Are we getting revenge? Are we getting revenge from Arena last night? I don't see her. Oh no. Damn it. We got owned. We got. Live battles is between it's when two TikTokers engage in a live battle. It's basically just likes and gifts that we compete with. Nah, she's gone. I'm just me. It's saying something. Fluff? No racism is accepted in this live. If you do say anything racist, it'll be thrown out. I can't see the chat. Maja or Tara, if that person says anything racist, could you please just block him? Or better yet, just block him anyway. Like, if a person asks a question like that, you know what? Let's just block him. Wait, give us one reason why we should not block you. Hold on, wait. Let's let them speak. Give us one good reason not to block you. Yeah, get out of here with that bullshit. See ya. We don't need that nonsense here. If you can't sit, if you don't know how to be respectful or know how to sit down in it, all right. Hello.
Hello. Wow, he has six.
Guys, I had to cancel that. Wow, it was getting weird. That was very weird. Guys, I'm trying to find Arena. I want revenge. Guess tonight's not the night, maybe. I swear to God, guys. Do you pick who you bat? Yeah, you get to choose. I appreciate Amanda White. You get to choose, but it's hard finding a person that's going to accept. You also want to find the person that you could actually talk like that. We try to do friendly matches as well. I don't want nothing toxic or anything too competitive. You have a good night, Amanda White. What the hell? Do you think no one's accepting because of the? Do you? Yeah, I'm doing battles at this point. I'm just trying to find somebody to do a battle with at this point. Hello.
I follow you on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you? Wow, I'm so lucky, guys.
You do a match?
Yeah, sure. Follow ko to. I'm an empath.
What's your name?
I'm Mina.
Mina. What's your name on IG?
Scarp Mina.
Is it also? I can't read your name. And where are you from?
Philippines.
Philippines. Oh, okay. I can't read the. Oh, I see. It's written Mina. Wow. I don't have. I need glasses.
Gagi.
Guys, I need glasses. Officially, I need glasses. You guys, tap the screen. It's nice to meet you,
Tap
Mina.
my screen. Uy, gagi. Ano ko to? Pan ako niyan. Guys, please tap my screen.
Mina, it's really nice to meet you. I always have whenever I find people from IG here on TikTok, it amazes me.
Really? I just share your video of my day.
That's crazy. Well, it's nice to meet you, Mina. It's truly an honor.
Thank you. Uy, patap-tap naman ang screen ko. Grabe naman kayo. Please tap ang screen.
Hey, where's all the supporters on Mina's side? Where's your support? Tap the screen for Mina, guys.
I don't know.
Why you?
Thank you. Ano, Angel? Pina-follow ko na ano ako sa mga ano niya, relate ako sa mga video niya. Instagram.
I make most of my videos here on TikTok, Mina, and then I carry them over to.
Ang saya naman. Ang lalobat pa yung sa kong Facebook na mga kapinis. Thanks for tapping, guys. Please follow nyo si Mr. Jules. Nakalimutan ko yung ano niya na, ang galing naman.
Yeah, I'm not bringing the hat. We'll save the hat for later. Guys, I want to get revenge. I really want to get revenge on Irina. You know what she did last night?
Tapping, guys.
After they let us get comfy, they first of all let us win one match, right? And we got very comfortable. And then the second match, they came in with everything. And then the third match, when we tried to break even, they also came with everything. So
Hi, Magic. Thanks for following Angel Reeve. I'm gonna follow you back. Thank you.
All right, go for it, David. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're just chilling. Irina,
follow niya ako. Oh my God.
she's not even here, to be honest, at this point.
Thank you. Ang Mina niyo parang may gustong patunayan. Hello, big guy. Big guy, hello. Thank you. Thank you for topping. Hello, Lorenzo. Hala, ang saya ko.
It's TikTok battles. Donna Gail. This is called TikTok battles. So basically, right now, me and Mina are versing each other. Hey, David, thank you very much for the money, God. Appreciate it.
Hey. Oh my God, binugbog ako ni Jules.
And the way it works is if you tap the screen, you do that's 3 points for likes, and then if you send gifts, it pushes this button. You can see it here.
Pina-follow ko kasi sa Instagram, follow mo yan, follow nyo yan, guys.
Mina, hit me up with on a comment or a DM, and I'll follow you back on IG.
See, this is you, right? Nano ko siya eh.
Actually, I'm more. I think I'm more. I have more traffic on IG than I have on TikTok. But I do most of my lives here on TikTok. I don't do lives on IG. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. MVP David, EPRN Barbara, Violet, GG, everybody. Mina, it was very nice playing with you. We can definitely, I'll hit you up again so we can try another.
I'll send you message.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you so much.
You take care, Mina.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
Yeah, good night, Jessica. I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm thinking to myself, oh, how does she know me? I was like, well, I'm on social media. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing fine. You want to do battle?
Ok. Haideți cu aprecieri, vă rog din toată inima, da? Where you from?
USA. How about yourself?
Romania.
Pardon me?
Romania.
Oh, Romania. Nice. Beautiful country. No, what do you mean?
It's nice. It's very nice. Nice.
Thank you guys, it was appreciated.
Tapați, vă rog frumos. Hai că și ăsta mă bate de mă stinge de lânzarele.
We're in trouble?
Are level 90 ce bătaie ne dă. Florin, mersi frumos, Alexandru. Bună dimineața, Nicolae, domnul Nicolae. Tapați ecranul, vă rog din toată inima.
I think we're good, David. Speed challenge is up. Let's go.
Vă pun cu fericitul, nu crește live-ul, mă. No good.
Right.
Să-mi fac alt cont să mor eu.
We need 4 people to gift.
4 burieni. Avem că primul meci mi-a la bătaie. Ne-a bătaie de la
Ikea and Alenka. Let's go. Let's get it.
4 zafir n-avem. Ferească.
Thank you, rest of the crown. Appreciated.
Marian, mulțumesc. Haideți încă 2.
Kelly.
Haideți încă 2 că nu mai pun. Nu cred că la Nicolae din până acum din șacoșile mele și din punga mea. Marian, mulțumesc. Marian și domnul Nicolae și cu mine. Al 4-lea trandafir eu am fost, să știți.
Go ahead. Doubles are up. Thank you very much.
Eu am dat al 4-lea.
Ooh.
Good, Enes, mulțumesc. Foarte bine, bravo.
Oh. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
For this is no good. For this is no
Let's go, David.
La cine dracu ce ți-a dat, mă,
Marta, thank you very much. David, man, I counted on 5. Oh, look, Barbara. Let's go, Barbara.
Tapați ecranul, că am și murit.
Let's go.
De majulit.
Crystal, you don't have to, Crystal. Just if you're enjoying it, that's all that matters. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think.
For this is no good, Romania. For this.
Now they're gonna hold on. Wait, let me see. Who do you have there? I think Nikolai. I'm looking at Nikolai. I think he might be a person that might have smoke.
Yeah, but not me. No, it's not for me. Another girl.
Why Nikolai? Why are you not giving to her? Now they're gonna start giving. Every time I bring this hat, that's when they start giving.
Haideți cu aprecieri, vă rog din toată inima. Nu dau la mine cadourile, în altă parte sunt cadourile.
Nah, they doubt they can.
Soția, Mariam.
I challenge everybody on her side to even think about it. I challenge everybody on her side to even think about it. Maria, do you think they're gonna snipe?
Diego.
Kelly, thank you very much.
Diego.
Hey, what's up, Miriam?
Nothing, it's okay. I lost every game. And I started life.
Unless Nikolai. Who else you got in there? Enes, Florin, Cosmin, Marion. Come on, guys. Step it up. You're embarrassing yourself, guys. Come on, do something.
Voi ați văzut câți are abonați are la inimioară? La steluță? 452 să mor eu. You make something in your country.
Me?
You actor something, I don't know.
No, I'm just a random dude who lives by the Mississippi River. Confidence.
Aprecieri ai mei, aprecieri. Luați altă șacoșă, că ați șordit. Șorditorul să-mi dați înapoi măcar inimioara de membru, că să mor. Deci nu mai pun niciun cufăr. Prefer să stau cu 10 oameni și asta este.
Guys, I forgot where are we in the count?
Prefer să stau cu 10 persoane și nu să vă mai pun cufăr, că nu mai dă o dracu de treabă. Deci acum ați luat din cufăr și n-ați dat nimica.
David, MVP, Barbara, EPRN, Harris, Kelly Joe, Maja, Alenka, Magic. Thank you guys very much. MVP.
Dați înapoi ce ați luat din cufăr. Deci eu n-am apucat să iau nimic.
You try again? Yeah, good night, David.
Ah, ok. Again. Hai, Luț, again. Neața, Ionuț. Hai, ieri, vă rog. Bună dimineața, Alexandru. Haideți, dați asta cu ecran.
All right, guys, tap the screen.
Bună dimineața, Ionela. O, numai să rechi să stea la cufăr, să mă ciordească unul, dar la... Bună dimineața, Marian. Da, domnul, să-mi pună și mie careva cufăr, eu nu-ți mulțumesc. Restul nu m-au ciordit, mă, Ionuțe, mă. Bună dimineața.
All my team is going to sleep, Maria. All my team is going to sleep.
Me? No, sleep, no one. Bine. Mulțumesc. Mulțumiți lui Ionuț de cufăr. Și eu să știi că și eu de când am intrat Ionuț le pun și acoșe de 100 de puncte de aia. Și nici măcar nu dau inimioara de membru, brățara. Să dea trandafiri la provocare. Vin și ciordez și pleacă mai departe. Ai de capul meu. Diana, mulțumesc. Dați măcar tap-tapuri, că trebuia să am 50 de cap până acum. Mi-ați mâncat bănuțe de unghii. Și să-i dați follow lui Ionuț, vă rog. Că v-a pus cufăr. Uite aici, dați follow.
Guys, are we in the daily ranking?
Follow cu toții de pe live. Vă rog frumos, haideți. Lui Ionuț.
Didn't reset yet. All right, we need 4, guys. We need 4
Da,
guys.
Ionuț. Uite, lui Ionuț să dați, da? Să dați follow lui Ionuț că v-a pus...
Nice.
V-a pus cufăr.
Nice. Thank
Alexandru,
you.
Marian. Mă mir că am făcut provocarea. Ionuț.
Guys, we need one more.
Scala.
There you go. We're good. We're
Marian
good.
Sandu, bună dimineața,
Barbara,
misteriosul.
EPRN.
Păi asta zic, măcar ajutați-mă la provocarea de viteză.
Now let's wait for the. Okay.
Deci
Double
eu am
throw.
făcut 60 de puncte de când am intrat, da?
EPRN, thank you very much.
De jumătate, 90 de puncte de când am intrat și eu v-am pus cufere, da? De 500. Adică...
Let's get it.
Chiar în halul ăsta, totuși, vă rog. Mai dacă aveam o mănușă, mă, să-ți iau unule neața. Ce faci, Marian?
Thank you, EPRN, for the time down.
Mă cer cu oamenii aici, Mariane, că le-am pus cufăr. Le pun cufăr de sute de monezi. Bosna, mulțumesc. Și nu-mi dau nici inimioara de membru. Am 90 de puncte, mai bine de jumătate de oră.
Keep your eyes open.
Nu știu, ăsta e foarte puternic, nu știu ce se întâmplă cu el, Mariane, nu știu cine este.
Who's doing this glove?
Maria, mulțumesc, te pun la story. Thank you so much, futu în gura lui, dar mă
Hey,
bat.
Daniel, thank you much for the hedgehog. Who did that on the phone?
Are cineva forță acolo. Nu știu cine știe. Știi câți urmăritori are la steluță? Știi câți are?
Okay. Barbara, thank you
400
much.
și ceva.
Appreciate it.
Mai mult ca Dani Mocanu. Nu știu cine e. Să mă rog dacă nu are. Are aproape...
He's winning now because now they have Marianne.
Marian is good, yeah, Ionuț.
He's good? He's gonna knock off my hat?
Good with me.
Is he gonna make me remove my hat?
Give me the you hair.
No, we'll see.
Give
Guys,
me
guys,
I
you're gonna let him take my hat, guys?
Mariane, noi.
Hey, Kelly, thank you very much for the money gun.
Bună dimineața, e dat dracu, mă, nu știu cine, cine dracu e ăsta, mă, urâtul ăsta, mă, ce face ăsta în țara lui, mă, e în America. Dați-mi inimioară de membru, zgâmboilor. Enes, mulțumesc de veveriță.
Oh my God. They're putting up a good fight on that side. Guys, at the last 10 seconds, look. The last 10 seconds, okay, Marianne, this guy Marianne, he's gonna drop a big surprise, okay? And you can see, look, she's smiling. She knows. She knows it's gonna happen.
No, Marianne is faliment. Send me gift all day. No, now faliment.
You think so? She tried to pump us up to make us... Okay, 10 seconds. Moment of truth.
Ești tu făcut, mă, level-ul tău, că ai level 9 și a făcut mai devreme 35 de ca
Right,
level 9
9,
are.
8, 7. Alright, guys.
Uita la mânușe, Mariane, că are făcut mă, bata lui, are forță, Mariane.
Thank you, Barbara. Appreciate it. All right, tiebreaker.
I'm so happy, Jules.
Thank you, Nadia, Kelly, Barbara. All right. Okay, this is now.
Ia la Wayne-ule, bye-bye, Wayne, bye-bye.
Sorry.
Mulțumesc,
Yes,
din
this
toată
is now the
inima,
final. This is now the final battle.
Stai așa să înjur pe ăștia lanții. Alo? Care ați furat din cufurul ăla de 50 de monezi? Care ați furat? Haideți. Costel. Care ați mai furat?
Guys,
Și dați follow, vă rog, lui Ionuț și lui Marian. Vai, dar ce mă bucur că e la toinurile. Dar mă bătut cu 35.000 mai devreme, să mor eu.
I know, right?
Ia du-te un pic la el acolo, să vezi.
All right, we got this.
Bună dimineața, Iulian. Are
I'm
forță.
confident.
Și ți-am zis, are 450 ceva, 460 ceva la steluță, abonați. Nu știu cine e caricatura asta de om. Cine ești, mă? Ce faci tu, mă?
What's up, Stacy?
Ai văzut, Marian? Câți abonați are?
Hey, Pierre, thank you very much. Appreciated.
Costel, mulțumesc.
All right, let's guys tap the screen. Tap the screen. Yeah, bro. All right, we got the
Nu mă
speed
refer
time.
la, știi că dă încolo câți oameni are pe live are.
You're good, yeah.
Dar mă refer. Ce dracu, mă? Aproape 500 de persoane s-au abonat la steluța lui, mă.
4 gifts, guys. All right, EPRN coming with the first.
Nu, e live el, e live. Zgâmboilor.
We need 4 different people.
Am mai
Okay,
venit pe
yes,
aici
okay.
vreun bogat sau nimic, acanci, leuștenilor.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Nigel.
Numai
Thank you,
sărăchii
Barbara.
vine, Doamne, pe live. Doamne, Iisuse din Nazaret, mai trimite un bogat, Doamne.
Thank you, thank you, Thor. Guys, we have to take advantage of the doubles. Let's go. Thank you, EPRN. EPRN, let's go. Let's go.
Chenzolă. Că n-a mai venit altcineva.
Hey,
zis
Barbara, let's
băgații.
go. Thank you, Barbara.
Au venit.
Appreciated.
Ăsta m-a bătut. Cosmine, nebun, level 39! Hai, level 39, e nebun!
Yo, Barbara, let's
Bună
go with the money
dimineața!
gun. Let's get it.
Cât aveai?
Now I'm back to confident mode.
Claudiu, nu mai zic încă o
Yo,
dată,
thank you for the paper crane.
da.
Appreciate it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, confident mode back on. I'm concerned about that, Mariam. I know he's in there lurking somewhere.
Deci tu ești Cristina. Doamne ferească Dumnezeu. Și poza și numele și-o pus, Doamne Iisuse din Nazaret. Vai, păi m-am speriat, ăla tot ăsta razna. A luat-o pe Cristina așa peste noapte, în level, ferească. Da, normal. Dar, mă, stai, o să facă toți ca mine, Cristina. Toți ca mine. Când a făcut ăsta level 39? Că dați înapoi. Dați înapoi ce mi-ați furat, că vă ia toți dracii.
Hold on, wait. Game changer.
Mariane. O să râdă dracul ăsta de mine. Iat. Mulțumesc, Cosmin. Da, Doamne, să ia, Doamne, să-ți bat.
Here he.
Mulțumesc, Cosmin și Cristina, mulțumesc. Acum te-ai găsit să-mi dai brățara. Oh my God!
Guys, does anyone have a glove?
Cosmin și Cristina, mulțumesc.
Guys, does anyone have a glove?
Oh my God! Lua-mi gloful să-mi... Romania versus America.
America's not doing too good. Guys, if you have a glove, drop it now.
Ce ai zis? Nu-l putem bate? Ce ai...
Barbara, let's go, Barbara. Let's go.
Da, din suflet. Oh my God. Că dracu să-i se ia,
Okay?
Mamă, dar cât confeti mi-ai dat, Doamne?
Guys, drop the side, drop the side. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Bravo.
Gigi, Barbara, EPRN, Maja, Kelly, Tara, Thor. Maria, you win for tonight, Maria.
Bye-bye. I am very good, Romania. Manta mia. Bye-bye.
Mariam won. Oh my God, we would have won, but it's just the last second. Oh my God, that's crazy. That was fun. Guys, thank you very much, guys. That was really cool. We actually we won that. We won that, but at just the last second. We're good, guys. So that's enough battles for tonight. No more battles. That's it. I think that was. Guys, I was thinking of like there's no real point in going live on IG, to be honest. We did get a storm, Mariam. How's the storm for you guys? They the TikTok the live on there is not the same as here. Like this one has exposure. It shook your house. Oh my god. Yeah, it was crazy. Guys, today the weather was look, today the weather was completely right, okay? Like it was sunny, it was beautiful. I actually barbecued today too. I can even show you guys. Look at this. Look. Oops. I didn't mean to make it this big. Look, I literally barbecued today. I made this today, right? Look at that. Look at that beautiful. I'm trying to make it go, guys. I don't want to make you all hungry. Hold on. I don't know how to make it. It's not leaving. Leave, please. You're not helping. Yeah, I'll just throw it on the side over here. Guys, don't look at it. I'll just hide it up there. Alright, this mom is great. You have a good one. Listen. Wait, let me I have to get rid of it. It's making me hungry too now. It's like, oh my god. There you go. Look. The weather today was just so perfect and beautiful. Out of nowhere, I swear to God, out of nowhere, storm, hail, rain, strong winds. And I had to go pick up my daughter. Actually, the weather was so good, right? I told my wife, I said, listen, I'm going to let her walk home with her friends because it's good weather, you know? Instead of, because I usually pick her up from school, right? But she sometimes, she likes to walk with her friends home. So I was like, you know what? I think it's a good day for me to let her, I think this would be a good day to let her walk with her friends. Right? And I started working on the barbecue. And then and Tom was like, Adam, go get her right now. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, it's a storm. Okay, so I'm sitting down and having lunch, and she's like, oh, there's a storm. I'm like, I just came from outside. It was sunny. It was perfect. What are you talking about? I open the door. There's hail. There's rain. There's wind. Oh my god, it was crazy. That's what I'm telling you guys. It's a statue fault. And I run out and I go get and I actually run out, get in the car. I go and I find her, right? And usually in rainy weather, I tell her to wait home. I think she got caught in the middle of I think she got caught on her way home, like same way I got caught by surprise. Oh my god, it was so insane. The flipping, like how it just got rainy and all that. Yeah, poor Cookie. Really, Maja? They have a system like that now? That's insane. Because I'm doing better there than I am here. I'll give it that. But I'm so used to TikTok lives. I'll look into it, guys. I'm really thinking about finding a way. I'm really invested, guys, of making my wife's recipe for the Turkish coffee. I noticed today when I was in the market, there's really no marketplace for this kind of coffee. And you know what? I would buy it. I would buy this coffee. Like I would travel. I travel 1 hour and a half just to get this coffee. Right? I travel 1 hour. I go to my sister's house, Mariam. You see her? I go to her house, and that's where I buy the coffee from, in that area. And my wife, she can make this excellent. She makes this very unique blend herself with the proper mixture, and it tastes better than the one I usually drive. Now I stopped going there, and now my wife makes it for me. And my wife's like, and then she was like, "Hey, you know what? Why don't we start? Why don't we make them?" It's like, you know what? What do you guys think about that? Should we make the should we make it official? Remember we were talking about it that time? Gone dark roast. What do you guys think about it? Should we do it for officially? Yeah, I'll be the first Midwest supplier of that kind of coffee. Gone dark roast. I can't get my marriage to finish my husband. I can't get my marriage to finish my husband. Narcissistic daughter. I can't go no more. What do you mean by that, Denise? Are you in the process of a divorce? Well, my preference is really heavy home search, and I agree with you. Coffee is definitely something to everyone's, like, you gotta, it's kind of like that specific thing to you, you know. But you would never know if you never tried the Turkish coffee. You would never know if you never tried it. Then be patient, Denise. Don't worry about it. T-shirt with boundaries. I like that, Maja. Ah, Mirko, that's smart. Mirko, that's so smart. What's up, Stacy? Mirko, that's very smart. That's what my wife did before, because she knows that I keep getting it from there. She learned how to make the coffee that I keep buying from Iowa City. She learned how to make it, and now she makes it here. So I don't need to go back there anymore. I don't do fortune telling, rejuicer. I don't do fortune telling. And I don't want to open that door on myself either. It's called Amit. Oh, with the coffee. Well, you know what's every time somebody says that, I get scared and concerned, because you know how there's these the scammers. Oh, would you like a reading? 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 I want to try that, Barbara. I want to see if we can do that. Well, I just got zoned out. I just say, hey. Package. Pretty much, my name, yeah. How we're going Shark Tank? That would be cool. Why am I zoning out? Guys, the idea is in my head now. Oh my god, it's crazy. I think it'd be awesome. What are we gonna do at Shark Tank? Talk about our coffee? That's how you get out of here. You and your coffee. You know how we do that to the trolls? They'll do that to me. They'll say, "Take your coffee and get out of here." And we banged your mother too. I'm like, hey, keep her out of it. You think they'll do that? Hey, what's up, Valerie? How you doing? Like today, we come to you with the latest technology and innovation of coffee like you've never seen before. Somebody get this guy out of here. It's like, yeah, I mean, you know how they have these episodes where they have these troll episodes, or they show like these disappointment vid parts. So my guy is about to get told that he has to go, and he's working, and he's away working. Haven't heard from him in days, and he texts tonight before bed saying, "Good night, love you." Well, he closed that door on himself, Tara. He closed that door on himself. This is a mark. Definitely. Guys, now we need to get. By the way, now we need to get revenge on Maria and Arena. Who else do I need to get revenge on? It's like, why am I making a list of people that we need to get revenge on? Keep that door closed, Sarah. Out of sight, out of mind. I'm making it one of those naughty Santa lists. Well, listen, Mirko. I got salty. I got salty because I actually thought we beat Maria. Like at the because I saw the gift come at the last second. I was like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I actually wanted to celebrate. I wanted to celebrate. That I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like, oh, it says lost. Mm. Pretend like you're not trying to celebrate. Pretend like you were not trying to celebrate that. Just pretend like everything was normal and that just didn't happen. Guys, we won that. I swear to God we won that. I swear to God we won that last one. But TikTok was like, yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah, you won. Here, take. We actually sniped. Barbara dropped the hedgehog at the last second, but it just didn't count. It was a second late. And she did that. Then she did that little cringe dance, taking my victory away from me, taking my wins, and then ending it with this. It's just luck, Kelly. When you say narcissist isn't real, does that mean they're an NPC? No. She knocked off my hat. She did knock off my hat. It doesn't mean that narcissist isn't. When we say narcissist isn't real, we mean their affection and the things they do for you isn't real. So that would be like, you know how they say I love you, and this and that, and I want to give you the world, and I want to take. These are all what we call love bombing. You see, relationships or how things are supposed to be, things are supposed to be consistent, right? If you say I love you to a person, then there has to be substance and consistency to the what you're saying. So even if we were to break up, there has to be a proper trajectory that led to the breakup, you know? But if it started all loving and caring and it's promising and whatever, and then suddenly it just turns into this abusive, toxic relationship, then the loving and caring was only the means to get to the toxic part of the relationship. So when we say it's not real, that means that everything that's happening is to get you to that point. So when we say narcissists are not real, it doesn't mean they're NPCs. It means that the affection and the love and the things that they do in the beginning is only as real as it needs to be to get you to the point where they can abuse and take advantage of you. then when the mask drops, then you start to see the real person, and it's like, what the hell? Guys, do you think, to be honest, sometimes, listen, look, in my head, I've been doing this for 3 or 4 years. In my head, I don't even recognize that this page, this platform, has grown to almost 100K followers, and on IG, it's almost 100K as well. Like, I still, in my head, I still see it as, like, when I first started. Like, there's, you know, like, I don't really pay attention to the numbers, but until then, when you come to realize it, like that girl, she was saying, "Oh, I was watching your videos," right? A very big part of me was like, "What does she mean?" I was like, "Oh yeah, you're." No, no, Valerie, no. We came across a person on TikTok Live who was just watching my videos on IG randomly, just like that. Fangirl, I have only one fangirl, Tamara. The IG community honestly is really 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 beautiful. Really great. Like I like the interaction and the traffic there. And to be honest, there's a lot less trolls there than there is here. That's that's something that's like I'm pretty sure everybody can relate to this. There's far more left trolls there. I appreciate it, Nina. I don't know reason. Tara, guys, can we take a moment to appreciate Tara and Maja for everything they do? I'll let you know a very big element and aspect of this live. A very big element and aspect to this live is many thanks to both Maja and Tara. Both of them are removing, blocking, muting, finding scammers. Like this is in the back end, right? But also even comments too. Guys, there's something so annoying that you don't see on my end. If you're a mod, you'll see it too. What happens is TikTok, for absolutely no reason, will just choose and filter out comments just like that. So it'd be like you can see how Valerie wrote, "We appreciate you, ladies." TikTok will just say, I don't want to. I want to filter this one out." Why? That's it. They just decide. Right? And so you're I'm looking, and I now here's the thing. I read the comments that are filtered out. I can see them. You guys can't see them. I can see them. So I read them and answer them. Sometimes you guys don't know if I'm actually talking to you or not because I might be, because I forget it. You know how we get a lot of questions that come down the live? So I forget that some of you can't see what I'm reading. So it looks like I'm probably talking to another person or jumping into a new point within the same point. You know what I mean? But look, Jay just put a question mark and it got filtered out. Jay just put a question mark and it got filtered out. There's no reason for it. It's just a question mark. Yeah, I'll unfilter it. Look, there it is. Look at Jay's question mark. Why was this filtered out? How is the question mark sus? Can somebody help me understand that? Oh, that question mark must have been loaded with many F words. It's random. I'm telling you, it's random. Not necessarily, Maja. I don't. It just pops up in the chat. Sometimes I think, Maja, sometimes I think you can see certain comments that are filtered that I can't, and I can see certain comments that are unfiltered that you can't. I genuinely believe this. I genuinely believe that there are some times where there are words that you may not be able to, comments that get filtered out that you can't see that I can. And because sometimes you say I filtered it out and I don't see what you filtered out, so that means I can't see it too. Don't dark roast. Yeah, it can be. Tomorrow, guys, tomorrow's gonna be a good day. Like, I can feel it. Tomorrow's gonna be a really, really, really good day. Tomorrow is gonna be a really good day. I'm confident. Can you show what it looks like after the storm? Can you show what? Show what? The storm is done now. The storm is done. And all that's left now is the aftermath. Let me get it. Guys, there's still thunder, by the way. You can hear the thunder, right? I'm waiting for someone to give. Nice. Maja, how did it go with your mother? Maja, how did it go with your mother? It was okay? She was nice? Okay. That's good to hear. No passive aggressive attitude. No, well, your eyes are open too, right? Your eyes are open. Anyhow, that's good to hear. Guys, I think I'm gonna call it. Probably get some sleep. Tomorrow's gonna be a good day. And even if it isn't, we're gonna make it a good day. Alright? Y'all have a good night now. I'm wearing the hat because I'm gonna come back for vengeance tomorrow. Love and light, everybody. Love and light. Y'all have a good night now. Bye-bye.